The Bible does not dictate doctrine. Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. And yesterday on Twitter, someone posted this image, which makes some problematic claims. For instance, the notion that the Great Isaiah Scroll comes from 800 years before Jesus is laughably false and puts the Great Isaiah Scroll before the birth of Isaiah. The Great Isaiah Scroll comes from about 125 BCE. Now, the other problem is that it says, and it matches our Bibles exactly. And that's entirely false. The Great Isaiah Scroll differs from the Masoretic text in virtually every single verse of the book of Isaiah. And so I responded by sharing a comparison in a tweet of the Great Isaiah Scroll to the Masoretic text, just for Isaiah chapter 53. And you can see the Hebrew text there on the screen. And the blue letters are differences in spelling that don't really affect meaning. The red letters are meaning differences. So just for Isaiah 53, there are numerous differences, many of which actually change meaning. And predictably, the first response was the one there at the bottom. Are any of the meaning changes significant enough to change a theological doctrine? Now, there are two main problems here. The first is that this is moving the goalpost. But the second is that it would be very difficult for a variant reading to change a theological doctrine. And the reason is that theological doctrines are not contingent upon the Bible and its textual readings. Theological doctrines develop in a process of negotiation that takes place within a community, and the negotiation partners are: one, the received tradition, the group's past; two, their needs and exigencies within the contemporary social circumstances; and three, their goals for the future. And the Bible has a role. It actually has two roles. One is to provide the raw materials, to provide the palette that the community will use to compose their doctrine. And two, the Bible provides the authority. It's the proof text. But the Bible doesn't dictate the doctrines. The doctrines arise out of the interface of all of those different factors. And so you can put almost anything you want into an ancient manuscript, and there would be apologetic arguments for why it doesn't change any theological doctrine. For instance, the doctrine of the Trinity is not in the Bible. There are passages in the Bible that flatly contradict the doctrine of the Trinity. So, for instance, the idea developed that Jesus was not subordinate to God, but was exactly equal to God. And this was one of the big problems with Arianism, with the idea that resulted in the Council of Nicaea and the Nicene Creed. But the Bible explicitly states that God is greater than Jesus. So the biblical text is not inviolable. The biblical text does not reign supreme. What reigns supreme is the needs and exigencies of the particular community within their social circumstances. And again, the Bible's two roles are to provide the raw materials so that the community can compose the doctrine, and then to be the authorization of that finished product. The Bible does not dictate doctrine, and variant readings within manuscripts can't really change doctrines because the community's consensus is what determines the doctrine. And sugar, the fit for this video has been rogue.